Even though your mind could no longer perceive the letters, it filled in the gap. It gave the illusion that the letters were never there in the first place. You can use blind spotting to get rid of nasty judgments a woman makes about you. And one of my favorite ways to blind spot a woman involves goading her into doing what I call a transderivational search. In a nutshell, a transderivational search is when the mind tries to make sense of a vague piece of communication by going through its memory banks. When the mind is searching through its memory banks, hundreds of blind spots are created in a woman's perceptual field. Her perceptual field becomes a proverbial piece of Swiss cheese. Nasty judgments like, that guy's disgusting, that guy's ugly, he's gross, he's retarded, disappear. Just like your mind filled in the missing letters with blank spaces, her mind is going to fill in those nasty judgments with blank spaces. In other words, you've crushed the barrier that was stopping you from getting her to chase you. So I want to give you an example of this, one I've probably used hundreds of times. If a woman is acting rude or annoyed or disinterested in me, I'll squint my eyes at her as if I just noticed the most interesting thing about her. And then I'll point my index finger at her and say, I know you. Now what this is going to do is this is going to induce a transderivational search. She's going to feel compelled to search her memory banks and figure out where she knows me from. Next, I'll pivot my feet away from her as if I'm going to walk away and say, you're trouble. I shouldn't be talking to you. This is going to intensify the transderivational search. Her focus of attention is going to move away from her negative judgments and toward searching her memory banks for something she did that was so bad that I'd walk away from her. All of her negative judgments are going to become invisible to her. Then I'll say to her, you used to work at Ralph's. Now, if you're not from the U.S., Ralph's is a popular supermarket inside the U.S. If you're from another country and they don't have Ralph's, you can substitute Ralph's with another supermarket. But she doesn't work at Ralph's. My accusation is false. She feels I'm about to reject her based on something that's not true about her. She feels compelled to correct my erroneous judgment about her. She desperately wants the validation she deserves. So she spouts, no, I don't work at Ralph's. But I don't stop there. I respond with, thank God, you must have a twin. And then I sidle a little closer to her, give her a high five, squeeze her hand gently. What this does is this demonstrates that I accept her, and this gives her the validation that she wants. I've gone from pushing her away to pulling her in. And then I spark the tension all over again. I take away the validation she's just gotten from me by looking at her suspiciously and saying, you know, I'm still not sure about you. You might work at Vaughn's.